So the next part we are going to start is how to find the concentration of a solution. Before going to the concentration, let me ask you what do you understand with the term solution. You can see this given in my PDF, all these definitions which I am going to tell you now. All the definitions, it has been given in PDF. So please look at the PDF, the definition you will find it out from there. Solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting substances whose composition can be varied within a certain limit. What I said? Solution is a homogeneous mixture. First of all, it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting substances. Non-reacting. The substance will not react with each other. Non-reacting substances. Two or more. Got it? Two or more non-reacting substances. Clear? Whose composition can be varied within a certain limit. I can vary the composition. I can change the composition. But within a limit, I can change the composition. Within a limit. Now let me give an example. What I said, it's a homogeneous mixture. You take a glass of water, alright, and you put some sugar. Let us say you have added 1 teaspoonful of sugar to it. Got it? It forms a homogeneous mixture. Definitely. Sugar dissolves in water completely. Or you take a glass of water, put some salt into it. It dissolves completely. So that is called as a solution. It is a mixture. It's a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting substances, which will not react with another. Sugar does it react with water? Salt, does it react with water? No. Alright, not at all. Isn't it? It is not going to react with one another. That is the most important thing. Clear? You have to remember it. Now, next is non-reacting. It should not react. You are not going to take here NaOH plus HCl. It is going to react. It will also form a solution. NaCl and water. But it is going to react. It undergoes nuclearization reaction. I am not saying that. Non-reacting substances. Clear? And it should dissolve in it so that it will form a homogeneous mixture. You will not say, sir, I will take some water and I will put some, some sand into it. I will put some chalk powder into it. I will put some coke powder into it. Will it dissolve? No, not at all. Alright, so that is not a homogeneous mixture. So mind it, it should form a homogeneous mixture, two or more substances. For example, suppose you are preparing, in your home you are preparing the lemon drink. So what are you doing? You are taking a glass of water. You are putting some lemon juice, you are putting some salt, you are putting some sugar and you are stirring it. What happens? It dissolves completely. It's a homogeneous mixture. Now the next is, it does not react also. And next is, its composition can be varied within a certain limit. Now you can vary, you can change the composition. Within a limit you can change the composition. Within a limit means, suppose you have taken a glass of water, you will be adding sugar to it. Can you add infinitely sugar to it? Can you add one sack of sugar to it? No, not at all. You can add either 3 or 4 or 5, maximum 5 teaspoonful of sugar into it. Because once the solution gets saturated, can you add more sugar to it? No. Similarly, what you do is that you take, that is a glass of water and you put it in a big tumbler and you add 1 teaspoonful of sugar. Now you add few buckets of water into it. Will it be a sugar solution or will it be simply as water? It will be simply water. So you can add this, water, you can add the sugar to a certain extent. You can add it. You cannot infinitely add sugar or water. You cannot change infinitely the sugar or water, because if you add infinitely water, it will be so dilute, it will not be a sugar solution. You cannot add infinitely sugar to it because it will dissolve to a certain extent only. Once it gets saturated, you cannot add further. So that is known as a solution whose composition can be varied. You can vary the composition, but within a limit you can change the composition. Alright, not beyond any limit. We can say that. So that is called as a solution. That is known as a solution. Alright, solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting substances whose composition can be varied within a certain limit. You can vary the composition. Understood? So here I have told you two words like sugar and water, salt and water. What are those? One is a solute, other is a solvent. Solute means the substances which is present in small quantities, alright, in a solution compared to that of the solvent, proportionately compared to that of the solvent. If the substance is present in small quantities, that is called as a solute. Clear? And if the substance is present in large quantities compared to that of the solute, then what is that known as? Solvent. So hence, again I repeat, if the component is in small quantities compared to another component, that is called as a solute. And if the component is in large quantities compared to that of another component, it is known as a solvent. Or you can say the one which dissolves in the other. So one is the solute and the other is the solvent. That's it. Anyway, you can say that. Okay, fine. So you understood what is a solution first of all. Now, suppose I have given you 5 glasses of sugar solution. Different sugar solution I have given you. I am asking you, you tell me which solution is more concentrated. What you will do? You will say, sir, I will taste it. No, I say no, you can't taste it. Without tasting, you have to say me. Can you say? Yes, we can say. We can measure the concentration of that particular sugar solution, and we can say which is more concentrated. We can also say the value of the concentration. What is the value of the concentration of that particular solution? We can measure it. Got it? In the lower classes you have studied the 2 types of solution is there. What is that? Dilute and concentrated. Dilute solution means a solution which has more of the solvent to that of the solute. That is called as a dilute solution. And concentrated means a solution which has got more of the solute compared to that of the solvent. That's called as a dilute solution. We can say that proportionately. We can say that. Clear? So in this way we know it, but today we can measure it. That is what I am going to teach you today. That how to measure the concentration of a solution. So there are different ways of measurement. We can measure it by molarity. We can measure it by molality. We can measure it by mass percentage. We can measure it by strength. We can measure it by normality. We can measure it by mole fraction. We can measure it by ppm. We can measure it by formality. In this way, there are different ways of measurement. Alright, so one by one, I am going to come to it and I am going to tell you the formula. So please listen carefully and write down those formulas. Understood? First, I will come to the mass percentage. Alright, first I will come to mass percentage. So, mass percent can be, the name itself it suggests, mass percent. How do you find the mass percent? Suppose I am finding out the mass percent of solute. Alright, mass percent of solute, I am finding it out. So what will I do? I will do weight of solute by weight of solution. Now percentage, this is a fraction I got it. I have to convert into percentage. What will I do? Into 100%. Simple. This is mass percent of what? Solute. Suppose you will say of solvent, same thing, weight of solvent by weight of solution into 100%. That will give you the mass percentage of solution. Very simple it is. Now, if suppose in the question volume is given instead of mass, so what you will do? Apply the common sense. Volume of solute by volume of solution into 100%, or volume of solvent by volume of solution into 100%. What I said? In this way, you can calculate the mass percentage or volume percentage. Understood what I said? Suppose volume percentage. So volume of solute by volume of solution into 100%, or volume of solvent by volume of solution into 100%. That will give you the volume percentage. Now, mass percentage is expressed in 3 ways. Alright, what is that? It is nothing but W by W. Alright, second is your W by V, and third is your V by V. Alright, it is being expressed in this way: W by W, W by V, and V by V. Always the W at the numerator is always for the solute. Alright, so what solute? Weight of the solute. And here at the denominator, it is for the solution, always, for all. Alright, so here it is weight of the solute by weight of the solution. When I say W by W. When I say W by V, what is that? Weight of the solute by volume of the solution. When I say V by V, what is that? Volume of the solute by volume of solution. So always numerator is for the solute and denominator is for the solution. Always remember that. Numerator is for the solute and denominator for the solution. Now you will say, sir, it is fraction. Percentage? Into 100% you do. Whatever the answer you will get it, W by W or W by V or V by V. Into 100% you do. You will be getting what you can say in percentage. Very simple to convert into percentage. Got it what I said? Clear? So, in the question generally, it is being said that calculate the molarity of 1.2% sulfuric acid. Alright? I have not taught you molarity. After this I am going to come to it. Molarity of 1.2% sulfuric acid. Alright, I am taking this only. 1.2% sulfuric acid. Clear? Solution. 1.2% H2SO4 solution. What do you mean by that? This 1.2%. What you'll say everything is given to calculate molarity. Yes, it is given. How? 1.2% I am saying. That means what? 1.2 by 100. Simple. 1.2 is what? Weight of, what is that? H2SO4. 1.2 what? 1.2 gram is the weight of H2SO4. And what is 100? Here nothing but weight of H2SO4 solution. Solution means what? That is H2SO4 plus water. Because H2SO4 forms solution in what? In water only. You dissolve H2SO4 in what? Water only. So what? Here H2SO4 is a solute and water is the solvent. So 1.2 gram is the weight of solute H2SO4 and 100 gram is the weight of solution. Now if I ask you what is the weight of solvent? Very simple, 100 minus 1.2, that is weight of water or solvent. Got it now? What is that? Clear? So here you will say, sir, 1.2%, why did you take W by W? Because remember it, if this sort of question comes, nothing is mentioned here, nothing I mentioned, then it is considered to be as W by W. If nothing is mentioned, after 1.2% nothing is mentioned, but I took W by W or not? Why did I take? Because that is the rule. If nothing is there after 1%, then I have to consider that as W by W by default. By default, W by W is not given. If it is given, it's okay. Suppose if it is given here, W by W, it's okay. Then it's understood. If it is not given, also it is understood. That is W by W. Is it clear now? Now, if it is W by V, suppose I have written here W by V after this 1.2% W by V H2SO4 solution. Then what is that? Very simple. Instead of gram, what will I say this one as? 100 ml. 100 ml. This is 100 ml is what? Volume of H2SO4 solution. Simple. W by V is given. Na? So it's 1.2 gram is weight of H2SO4 and 100 ml is the volume of H2SO4 solution. Alright. In this way, you can use the mass percentage. Alright. In this way, you can use it. Suppose here it is V by V. Then what will I do? 1.2 ml volume of H2SO4 and 100 ml is the volume of H2SO4 solution. If it is W by, instead of W by V, it is V by V. 1.2 percentage V by V H2SO4 solution. Got it now? In this way, you are going to find it out the mass percentage. Thank you very much.